Let's now discuss another example of using arrays. In the previous video, we found out the sum total. In this particular example, our objective is going to find out the difference between these two columns, B and A, and we also want to find out the minimum of the difference in the entire array of differences that we get. We also want to find out the most minimum difference. Okay. Now the traditional approach over here is going to be very simple. We usually do B minus A. That's it. And we get the answer. If you want to use it for the entire column, you just need to double click on this plus sign and you'll find that the formulas is in very well in place for this as well. And we have got the difference between the two very easily. Now let's say we want to find out the minimum of difference in this. For that again we have to use a formula which is equal to minimum, and we need to select the numbers. So we just need to select the numbers, close the bracket, and here what we have is the minimum of the number. Now this was the traditional approach. What if we want to use the arrays? What we need to do is equal to minimum, select the numbers. What it is basically is, it is your C4 to C18 minus B4 to B18, right? So we just need to select C4 to C18 minus B4 to B18. Once this is done, you can close the bracket, and remember, since we want it to be an array, it is going to be Control plus Shift plus Enter. So you now get the difference, which is exactly similar to the one we found out using the traditional approach. The only that is better when you use arrays is that you save lot of time. Let's now solve one more example, and this thing will be extremely clear to you. In this example number 3, you observe that this particular example is based on portfolio of stocks. What you have in front of you is a portfolio of stock A and stock B. The objective of this question is to find out the overall returns that are expected in a period of 1 year. So you are supposed to find out the overall returns. Now there are various scenarios that are associated with stock A and B. If you have to look at the optimistic scenario, stock A gives 25% return, stock B gives 30% return. If you look at the expected one, it is 15 and 20. If you look at the pessimistic one, it is 5 and 0%. We have also been given the weightages of stock A and B in the portfolio. Stock A weighs 60% and stock B 40%. We also have the economy scenario. Now this is completely fictitious. These are not real economy numbers, but we have just taken them for the example's sake. So optimistic is 30%, expected is 50%, and pessimistic is 20%. Now if we have to do this, if you want to find out the returns using the traditional approach, there's going to be a huge formula that you are going to use. You might get confused, but you just listen to it carefully, and it is very simple actually. If you have to find the returns, it will be these optimistic returns into the economy optimistic returns multiplied by the weightage of stock A. We are now focusing on stock A only. Okay. After this, again we add up expected into the expected of the economy into the weightage of stock A. Again, what we're going to add is pessimistic multiplied by the economy pessimistic percentage multiplied by the stock A weightage. Now what we did up till now was relevant only up till stock A. What we now need to do is also include stock B. So what we need to do is start that with stock B. So optimistic of stock into economy optimistic into weightage of stock B plus expected of stock B into economy expected multiplied by the weightage. Again we add up the pessimistic into the economy pessimistic multiplied by the weightage of stock B. This is the huge formula that we need to use to calculate the returns. If you hit enter, what you get is the returns from this portfolio. I'll just reduce the decimal points. 17.2 should be fine. Now, how do we do it using the arrays? It's going to be a simple formula, is equal to sum, open the bracket, select all the optimistic, expected as well as pessimistic percentages of stock A and B into the economy scenario into the weightages. We're considering everything. We just close this bracket. What you need to do is not hit enter, but control shift and enter. As soon as you do that, we get exactly the same answer. So this is how you can use arrays in order to simplify your work using the Excel formulas. Okay.